Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Anwar White. I'm so glad to see all of you awesome gay men here. Thank you so much for joining me. As you can see, the title of this session is called Get Your Guy: 5 Steps to Go from Hopeless to Husband. Now, I know that maybe you've all been in previous webinars where there's been a lot of preamble and getting to know you BS. I am so not that person. I know that we're all super busy people here, and I want to respect your time and mind. So I hope you all can forgive me if we just get right to the good stuff. And we'll take care of all of the other stuff another time. We have about a half an hour together, so let's rock and roll. So, who is this session for? This is for any gay man who wants to live his best life, gain confidence, get out of the gay matrix of apps and hookups, and find authentic love and acceptance on the inside and out. If you are interested in letting go of the hurt and rejection and taking your love life to the next level, then this is for you. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to love yourself, be your true self everywhere, and not let the judgmental crowds or rejection affect your shine. How to have the utmost confidence in every situation, even if you think you have crazy insecurities, so you can approach any guy that tickles your fancy. I'm also going to show you how to heal the hurt parts of yourself so that you can be open and attract the love that you deserve. I'll also show you how to stop the destructive habits and self-sabotage that are making it impossible for you to find real love, because you're going to have a clear plan of what to do every time you're feeling insecure. And how to do all of this, even if you haven't been in a successful, serious, long-term relationship or have been single most of your life. My promise to you is that if you stay with me for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to deliver a step-by-step strategy to help you find love, a husband, and live your best gay life. So there is nothing for sale on this webinar, but if you stick with me until the end, I'm going to give you the opportunity to chat with me for free to break down your love life and pinpoint the exact things you need to do to find love. This is what I use to get my clients started. And normally this is only for my clients that are spending thousands of dollars to work with me. And if I do charge for such a session, it would be about $197. But if you stick with me until the end of the webinar, I'll give it to you for free. Yeah, you heard me, for free. So does this sound like you? Do you lay around every evening switching back and forth between gay apps, looking at the same faces at the same distances, waiting desperately for that special ring that occurs when you get a message? Do you think most men are users, abusers, or cheaters with one thing on their mind and you just don't trust them? Do you have low self-esteem because the men you like seem to look past you every time you show interest or flirt with them? Or maybe when you look at a gay couple, you get slightly envious and wonder, why can't I be in a relationship? What's wrong with me? When guys ask you what you're looking for, you lie and you say, I'm open, when in reality, you're looking for the one, but you're too afraid to be emotionally honest. Are you feeling overwhelmed by the impossible beauty standards that are valued in most of the gay community and don't know how you could ever live up to them? And most importantly, are you jaded and think you'll never meet a man and fall in love, and that you'll die alone and lonely? If this is how you feel, I've got good news for you. Actually, great news. Because none of these things are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't learned the shifts. And I'm going to tell you what those are in just a second. Once you make those shifts, you'll be able to confidently approach any man that you are into without fear of rejection, and you can just be your amazing, authentic self. You'll attract love and men in your life who want you, and not the facade you've been putting up, whether that be physically, financially, emotionally. You'll have a game plan for when you're feeling lonely and know how to counterbalance that feeling with appropriate actions that make you feel better about yourself. Once you make those shifts, you'll know exactly how to find the men that are serious about relationships and meet quality guys who are actually ready for relationships versus just those who want to hook up. You'll heal all of your past relationship trauma so that you can be truly happy and content with yourself instead of looking for external validation. And you'll do all of this while still being and doing you, and actually being loved and respected for it. The one thing you need to know, the one thing I want you to understand, is that there are 5 simple shifts you need to get unstuck, find authentic love, gain confidence, and live your best gay life. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to make those shifts today. So listen, Before we get into that, I just want to take 30 seconds and really quickly introduce myself so that you know who I am and that I know what the hell I'm talking about. So listen, before we get into that, I just want to take 30 seconds and really quickly introduce myself so that you know who I am and that I know what the hell I'm talking about. My name is Anwar White and I'm a gay love and relationship coach. I'm a husband of 5 years and a dad of 3. I'm also the founder of Get Your Guy, my gay love coaching program, where I've helped hundreds of gay men level up their love life and get the confidence, the man, the healing, the self-awareness, and the joy that they've always dreamed of. Now, I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and truth be told, I love doing this so much. As the head coach for gay men at Relationship Hero, a relationship coaching company, I've helped hundreds of gay men better understand the gay man's journey to true, authentic love, why it's so tough, and how to rise above it all to find love, joy, and happiness. But you know what? It wasn't always like this. Let me tell you a little bit about how I discovered these 5 shifts. Like I already told you, I've gotten the chance to work with hundreds of gay men from all over the world. And you know what's really interesting? Some of these men had incredible breakthroughs where they went from no confidence and chronically single to self-confident hubbies with doggy or human babies. Some others would get results that I thought were also good, like making breakthroughs in self-care and love. And then some of them were gay men who struck out and didn't make any progress and stayed stuck. As I began to look at these people, and it wasn't just the gay men that I was working with, it was also the gay men that my colleagues were working with as well. As I observed all of these men, specifically over the past few years, I got to notice that the top achievers, the men who got the best results and their guy, did 5 very specific things. Just 5 things. It didn't matter if they had never had a boyfriend before, or they just came out, or were HIV positive, or considered fat, or femme. The gay men who succeeded were the ones that were doing these 5 things. I believe that if you can do these 5 things, that you will also be able to gain tremendous confidence, self-awareness, and true authentic love and happiness. Okay? So there are 5 simple shifts you need to get unstuck, find authentic love, gain confidence, and live your best gay life. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them in this session right now. So the first shift you're going to have to make is you're going to have to let go of your type. When it comes to choosing a husband, only one thing really truly matters, and that's character. So it stands to reason that a man's character should be at the top of your list of things when you're looking for Mr. Right. But if you're not married, I already know that it isn't. Because if you were looking for a man of character, you would have already found one by now. Men of character are, by definition, willing to commit. Instead, you're probably looking for a type. Someone tall or muscled, or a certain race, or someone who has a certain educational level, or someone who's rich, or someone who knows the difference between Picasso and Cézanne. Unfortunately, this is not the thinking of a husband. This is the thinking of a teenage girl. And I don't mean to be condescending. Men of character, especially gay men of character, do not want to marry teenage girls. Because teenage girls are never happy and often complaining. And no one wants a husband like that. Look, I've been doing this for a while, and what I've learned is that most often love comes in such a different package than we would have ever imagined it. It comes into our lives to teach us the lessons that we still need to learn. I've learned that when most people truly fall in love with someone, the type suddenly fades away, and they tend to love everything about their partner, even the things that they didn't really initially love. The fact that their man has some love handles, or that they dropped out of college to take care of their parents, or that their man doesn't make much money, but he'd rather make a difference empowering youth for a nonprofit organization than work on Wall Street. When you let go of your type, you begin to knock down those huge blocks in your love life. So the next shift is to know that you're good enough. Now, this is going to serve you well not just for love and relationships, but also in other aspects of your life as well, like your career and any other life goals that you may have. First, let me ask you a few questions. 1. Is there a running commentary in your mind that compares yourself favorably or unfavorably with others? 2. Have you sabotaged things you dearly wanted, seemingly against your will? 3. When people talk about self-love, do you want to know what they mean? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, you may have some self-hate going on, so that's why I want to focus on it. So why do I want to focus on it though? It's because self-hate really cuts to the core of the gay man struggle. This is quite difficult for us to actually admit. Another way to think of self-hate is like a virus. Let's say like herpes, where you don't even know that you have it until there's this huge, giant, hideous scab on your lip. Self-hate is just lying dormant below the surface, coursing through your bloodstream, unseen until it surfaces and some way acts up in a situation in your life. So, I'm sure you're wondering how it shows up in your life. Well, in a variety of different ways. One of self-hate's favorite ways to present itself is through the idea that nothing is good enough for you, right? And this is why you reject people and things that could truly make you happy, and favor people or things that will satisfy your self-hate. This is why you may reject beautiful souls for love because they're not good enough, like we were talking about earlier. Another way that it resurfaces in your life is when in your head you're hearing voices that say, I'm not good enough. This may look like you going for the hottest guy knowing he isn't ready for a relationship, to get rejected to confirm that you aren't worthy, or you keep trying to make coffee dates with that super busy guy or girl who you want to be your next BFF, even though they are never available. Then you end up feeling bad about yourself, again confirming your own perceived unworthiness. Here's what I know for sure. Men mirror back our deepest, most unconscious beliefs about ourselves. If you want to know what you deeply believe about yourself, just look at the behaviors and attitudes of the various men who populated your life over the years. To overcome this, you're going to have to fire your ego. The ego is the big voice in your head that thinks it's Simon Cowell. You gotta tell it the show's over and it's time to go home. If not, you'll always feel like you're never worthy of love that you want or deserve. This can lead to depression, bitterness, rejection, and never attracting a nice quality guy. When you get this right, however, you will become compassionate, loving, giving person. These are crucial qualities necessary to be in a healthy relationship. Because the truth is that you can only love someone else as much as you love yourself. Now, let me tell you about Mike. He lived in San Francisco and was 37 years old when he started working with me. And at that time, he felt really disillusioned about gay relationships, especially being in the gay mecca of San Francisco, with lots of gay men and free-flowing sex everywhere. Now, in San Francisco, most of the gay relationships are open, and that's not what he wanted. He wanted a simple monogamous relationship and ultimately to get married and maybe even have some kids. It wasn't until we had a discovery call that I started to understand where his trauma was coming from so that we could create an action plan to take the necessary steps to overcome his limiting beliefs. Before he knew it, he was meeting and dating quality guys because he knew what signs to look for to find those guys. He recently got married to his French partner in Puerto Vallarta, and it was a beautiful wedding. And they also recently informed me that their surrogate is pregnant with twins, so I'm just so excited for them. Now, I mention his story to say that it's very possible to have the love life that you want and deserve. But the work has to be done first to ensure success. So the third shift is for you to keep it 100% real with yourself. Now, does this sound familiar? Maybe it starts like this. You meet a guy you're attracted to, and I know that probably doesn't really happen as often as you'd like it, but even so, before your first conversation with him is over, you're already kind of secretly hoping way in the back of your mind that this could work. Another part of you is already sure it won't, since you've been through this a million times, and if things had ever worked out, you wouldn't be sitting there right now, sipping on a mojito and wondering whether you're gonna like living in the neighborhood this guy just told you he lives in. He also said something that made it clear. He's not really available for a serious relationship. But you're tired of stopping things before they even start. So you give him a chance anyway because, people change their minds all the time. Plus, he's pretty cute. Over the next couple of weeks, things progress from making out to, hooking up. And it's not really dating exactly, but it's close enough. You go to dinner, movies, art openings, but you each pay for yourselves or you find yourself paying most of the time. and you initiate all of the text conversations and invite him more often than he invites you. Still, you enjoy his company, and there's a possibility it can turn into something more. Because, of course, people change their minds all the time. Look, you would never admit it. You know way, way, way in the back of your mind that if you tell him what you really want, whether that's marriage or a baby or a nice home to live in together, he'll probably ghost you and leave. So you just tell him how perfect this arrangement is because you only want to hang out and have sex for fun. You love having fun sex, and you don't want to get in a relationship at all. You swear. You just love hanging with him. In other words, you lie, and you have no idea how it's affecting your love life. It's crucial to your future marriage or partnership that you deal with the ways in which you lie to yourself. Self-deception is probably the most destructive thing you can do to your prospects for a happy, healthy relationship. A strong relationship requires two people who are authentic with themselves and with each other. If you find yourself with men who are straight, married, too young, playboys, etc., steer clear. These men probably aren't at the level of authenticity you need for a successful partnership. And if you're trying to get with any of these guys, chances are that you're keeping a lot of details about them to yourself and not with your family or friends. Again, not 100% real, open, or honest. Here's the thing. It's not that guys never change. They do, sometimes, but only if they feel like it. You have to assume that the guy standing in front of you is going to stay exactly the way that he is. Now, this is probably a good thing for you in terms of your growth, right? Allowing a man to simply be the way that he is right now until he decides to grow and change, if he ever decides to do that, is called loving someone unconditionally. This is what everyone wants, including you. And if you want to get it, you're going to have to give it. Unconditional love. Once you get this right, you'll stop with all the self-deception, which probably started when you were hiding parts of yourself growing up gay. And you'll get into a process of understanding who you are and what you need in a man, and also in life. If you know who you are much less likely and less able to fool yourself into doing things that you already know aren't right or good for you. You just have to wake up to yourself. And in order to do that and start digging deeper, you have to get 100% real with yourself. This means you're going to have to check yourself if you hear yourself rationalizing, minimizing, justifying, or denying a guy's behavior. If you do that, you can be sure something's going on, and that's where self-deception starts. Remember, you will attract what and who you are, and when you are loving yourself and being 100% honest with yourself, you are already acting as a match for your perfect mate. Now, the fourth shift that I want to talk to you about is that I want you to use the secret weapon. Mastering the art of getting your guy is all about self-validation. This is the most powerful and effective way to let go of the past, gain more confidence, and find authentic love inside and out, while gaining your inner peace and joy and achieving all of your love life goals. The old way of finding gay love was just as many other people have probably told you. Just be yourself. This is the cross your fingers, hope everything works out gay man's journey to love. Because this neglects the fact that many of us are unhealed young boys who avoided the shame of growing up gay and have become cynical and jaded and desperately looking for validation. This way never truly deals with or heals the core issue at hand, the actual shame. So the old way is all about avoidance and overcompensation. Why, you may ask? Well, first, avoiding the shame creates an internal unhappiness because you never give yourself the chance to reject all of the societal norms pushed on you that told you that the way that you love and who you love is wrong, bad, or a sin. Many try to avoid the shame by secret, DL, sometimes unprotected sex. Yes, using apps like Grindr and Scruff count here as well. They also avoid shame by either using drugs or food or alcohol. A lot of times that leads to a lot of isolation and depression and suicide. Secondly, you may see many men overcompensating for the shame of being gay. This reveals itself in many different ways. Sometimes you'll see men who are workaholics or buy fancy homes or cars or clothing, go on extravagant trips or get extreme plastic surgery. A lot of times you may see them working out for that perfect look or sleeping with a ton of men trying to impress others. This searching for the validation, approval, and recognition is all about the fact that they did not receive that when they were growing up gay. Another effect of external validation is that it doesn't properly prepare you for a relationship. If you're not married, chances are you think a lot about you. You think about your body, your outfits, your hair. Maybe you think about your career, or if you don't have one, maybe even becoming an entrepreneur. So you think about how marrying a guy would solve all of your problems. However, a good husband, even a halfway decent one, does not spend most of his day thinking about himself. He has too much shit to do. This is why you see a lot of celebrity gay men getting husbands after they adopt pets or children. The kids, either furry or human, put other men on notice. It's like, bitch, hello, I'm stable and responsible. Come to me if you come correct. Now, I've seen it a million times. After a year or two of thinking about someone other than himself, suddenly a Bradley Cooper or a Idris Elba comes along and decides to significantly other him. Which is also to say, if what you want is a baby, go get you one. That's what I did. Your husband will be along shortly. Fatherhood has a way of weeding out the time wasters and the hoes. Like I was saying, the new way is all about self-validation. I believe it offers the best opportunity to let go of the past, gain more confidence, and find authentic love inside and out, while gaining inner peace and achieving your love life goals. The real truth of the matter is that as gay men, we're born into a world that was not safe for us to be ourselves in. Period. We have got to heal from that and get even stronger. The It Gets Better campaign is bullshit to me. We have to actively make it better if we want the best gay life that we deserve. I'm mentioning this because you'll notice that so many people might be discussing the latest RuPaul's Drag Race episode or the hot guy at the club, but no one is really talking about or acknowledging these issues, so they aren't getting addressed properly, and that's why we have so many men out there lost, not knowing how to find true love in themselves or with other people. Yes, avoiding and overcompensating for the shame will keep you surviving life, but self-validation will level you up and completely change your life and actually get you thriving instead of just surviving. Because self-validation minimizes the gay shame and makes it easier to overcome it quickly. Trust me, you'll thank me when you start to implement this in your life, and especially when you meet a great guy that will later become your husband, because you were able to let go of the toxic internal shame and pain you've had for all of these years. So my client Leon started my program at 40 years old. He was an accountant and he just came out of the closet. He was completely unaware of all the internal shame he had had until our sessions, where we acknowledged each and every one of them and how he was finding validation from outside of himself, be it career, money, travel. We first developed a plan to find out who he really was, and after several sessions and assignments, he realized that his passion resided in cooking. He went to cooking school and met the love of his life, a man who had similar passions as he did. At first, he didn't know how to approach him or what to even say. So we coached him through the initial phase of establishing rapport and getting the first date with the guy. I'm happy to report that they've been together for 2 years, and a little birdie told me that there may be wedding bills in the near future. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for that. Together, we came up with a plan and held Leon accountable to do the internal work needed for him to rock out his love and career goals. And he surely did just that. As you can see, when you get this right, you don't need anyone's approval, and their judgments instantly don't mean anything to you. This, in turn, gives you the confidence to be the best you. Once you are on this level, love finds you, and you don't have to go looking for it. When you get this wrong, however, and you just try to avoid or overcompensate for the gay shame without doing the work, you'll begin to have low self-esteem, which generally brings about bouts of depression and loneliness. This leads to the Grindr scruff, gay matrix, and other addictions that don't serve the highest part of you. And it's all because you're desperate, trying to find some form of approval. Again, I don't want that for you. So now at this point, we know that we must let go of your type, know that you're good enough, keep it 100% real with yourself, and you gotta use the secret weapon of self-validation. Now let's look at the final shift. Investing in a gay love life mentor. Now, there's no manual on being gay or even gay relationships, even though people are readily willing to give you their opinion on the matter, which is good and bad. It's good because you have the freedom to do whatever you want, but it's also bad because you never really know if you are doing things effectively and efficiently to get you to your relationship goals. No one sits down and teaches you this stuff. Every gay man should have a gay love life mentor. Mentoring brings two things: new ideas and accountability. There are probably new ideas in your head right now that wouldn't have been there if you didn't make time for this webinar masterclass. A good gay love life mentor will give you great ideas and make sure you act on them. But a great gay mentor will also put together a powerful group of people all working towards similar goals. My program, Get Your Guy, does just that, and this multiplies everyone's progress exponentially to get their guy. In our program, we have specific love, relationship, and past trauma experts to make sure you are rocking out in all aspects of your love life. This is all just for you. This way, you have so many distinct perspectives, so everyone can focus on getting you to your happier and purpose-filled new love life. So today I promise to show you how to love yourself and be your true self everywhere, not letting the judgmental crowds and rejection affect your shine. How to have the utmost confidence in every situation, even if you think you have crazy insecurities, so you can approach any guy that tickles your fancy. I also told you that I was going to show you how to heal the hurt parts of yourself so that you can be open and attract the love you deserve. I also showed you how to stop the destructive love and relationship habits that are sabotaging your happiness and make it impossible for you to live your best gay life, and how to do all of this even if you haven't been in a successful, serious, long-term relationship or have been single for most of your life. Look, here's what you need to win and find the love of your life. First, you need to let go of your type. Second, you need to know that you're good enough. Third, you gotta keep it real 100% of the time with yourself. Fourth, you gotta use the secret weapon of self-validation. And finally, you have to invest in a gay love life mentor. These 5 shifts alone are enough to propel you to live your best gay love life. Now, I just taught you all of this stuff, and so now you have a choice. You can either take this information that I've given you and just forget about it. It can be just another webinar on another day. You get some nice ideas and just forget about it. And if you do that, I can tell you right now, you are not going to get out of your rut. You're going to stay stuck exactly where you are in your love life and relationships. Probably frustrated and lonely because you can't find a partner that can love you. Unhappy because you are constantly on the gay dating apps with judgmental pricks who don't value you as a person. You'll feel defeated because you feel like you aren't worthy of love or respect. And hopeless because you know that you can be happier and having more fun, but don't know how to get there. You know why you came to this webinar. If you are on this webinar, you came here for a reason. And I believe it is because you know that you alone are not enough to get you unstuck and into a healthy relationship. So you have a choice. You can take this information and you can pass it by and stay stuck and continue to struggle to find the prince in a sea of man whores. Or, if you want to take your gay love life to the next level, if you want to be happy and gain amazing self-confidence, and in the meantime find true self and romantic love, if that's what you want, then here's what I have for you. My team and I have set aside some time in the next week to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your specific love life starting today. Now, the cost of doing this is absolutely free. We do this totally free of charge, but here's the catch. This is not for everyone. You must be absolutely committed to improving your love life and willing to do the work and be vulnerable and fully coachable to produce the very best results possible. You've got to be very reliable. No excuses. If you don't think you can be disciplined about the process or be willing to invest in the future of your love life success, then this is not for you. Here's why we're doing this. On the call, I'll help you get total clarity and the exact steps you should take to achieve your love and relationship goals. This includes overcoming past trauma, cutting out limiting beliefs that sabotage your love life, finding ways for you to level yourself up and attract your ideal partner, and strategizing a plan to achieve those in a timely manner. If you want us to help you, and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to become one of the new clients we take on this month. Now, if we work together, I'll put you through the same process I put the hundreds of gay men I've worked with through. The action steps are designed to get you unstuck, help you gain confidence, and get the best out of you to attract an equally awesome guy. So click below because spaces are very limited. You'll see the sign up now button, so just click that. In this breakthrough session, we're going to delve super deep, so be ready. We're going to cut through the BS and pinpoint the major issues, as well as give actionable step-by-step guidance on how to overcome them. If you want to sign up for a Get Your Guide Love Breakthrough call, you can also go to www.liveyourbestgaylife.com/free consultation. Again, spaces are very limited, so sign up now. We are always so happy to help gay men live up to their utmost potential and have fulfilling love lives. And we can't wait to help you. With that said, have a good one and talk to you soon.